So here we are with what we're calling our completed image. Really it's our completed project, as our image will change depending on what layers we have on and off and all that good kind of stuff. So let's get into exporting out the image, and we'll actually export out several images and see what we think. So really you just want to do is flatten your image. We can discard any hidden layers, and then just simply file, save as, and we're going to call this Watercolor Viz 01, because this is our visualization visualizer rendered image. So we'll call this 01 because we can do a couple different versions. I'm going to unflatten it. Always key to unflatten it, and also very key to make sure that you have your Photoshop file saved. And I actually just realized that I saved the previous one as a PSD file, not as a JPEG, where we want to make sure it's a JPEG. I actually have an action created. I've never created actions. They're pretty easy. And I have one that does flatten and save, and the great thing about it is it'll flatten the image, save it, and then after it saves, it automatically undoes the last command, which was flatten, so we go back to our layered version of Photoshop, which is great. So let me resave this one. So again, I want to call it, we'll go say final watercolor viz 01, and there we go, and you can see my layers pop back up, which is perfect. So maybe the 02, I'm going to mess with the sky. You know, I never know if these skies actually work, because the trim around the leaves sometimes is always just a little off. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could probably come in on this layer and try to clip out that that part of the tree a little more, but you can see that really it's part of the rendered version that just has that little bit of a halo around the leaves, and it makes it a little more difficult. But if you really wanted to, you can come in here, you know, with the magic wand and clean this up a little more. Depends on again what it is you want to accomplish and what you want to do, and all that good kind of stuff. Just quickly doing that, you can see, you know, ultimately it's not going to be too hard to be able to do that. The bigger chunks that really aren't the issue, because again we masked all those out. Really it's the halo around the leaves that we're trying to ultimately deal with. And even though we have the SketchUp mask that masks it out, it isn't a perfect mask, because again this halo is just, sometimes it's so difficult to get into those tight places. Let's even just do, like, say, select similar. And, you know, I think we're pretty close there. Let's try one more. Selecting new, select similar. And we just want to make sure that we're not deleting anything off of our house. So we can just do a quick deselection of anything that we don't want to delete. You know, so maybe that deleted too much, I'm not sure. That seems to be okay. Let's see. Let's throw everything else back on. So there you go. So you can see that actually helped out the tree quite a bit, and you see there's still just a little bit of halo in here, but honestly I think it's okay, for especially for what we're trying to do. You know, that's not too bad. We'll go ahead and we'll export that one out just for us to have, again, to compare later. So then let's put our other sky back on. We're going to do our SketchUp versions. We want to put our window glass on, and we'll export this one out. So we'll call this Final SketchUp 01. And similar, let's do an alternate sky. You can see the SketchUp mask cuts out the tree much nicer, because it's SketchUp to SketchUp versus SketchUp to the render, where it gets it very, very close, but just a little off. So let's see here, we're calling this one SketchUp 02. And really, you know, we have a couple different base images, and we could really do as many base images as we want. Let's see here, I know we have, okay, here's our pencil drawing one. Now we haven't really edited this one, you know, to clean up the levels in here and all that kind of stuff, and maybe that's something we would want to do, but I'm not going to export this one out because it's not quite the look I really want. But just to show you that it's just as easy as turning on whichever layer it is that you're looking to do. And if you wanted to, you could even do multiple exports of these splatters. So you can do that. Get rid of that sky. Actually, that sky probably goes well with this particular splatter. Has a lot of the same colors. And even if this splatter might be a little too intense, we can always knock the opacity down. So it's definitely a much different image, you know, that has a little bit more ambiance in here. But again, you can it's just all coming down to you can knock out whichever one you want. It's kind of the beauty of this. I'm just going to stick with our basic one for right now. And similarly, you know, our lines. We could turn our charcoal off and maybe put our pencil lines on. Yeah, so we just need to make sure that we put it on to multiply. And there we go. I mean, there's our pencil lines. And so it's the difference between it's not a huge difference, but it's you know, a difference, and there's different ones you can export out from SketchUp that really do make a bigger difference. So again, it's just a matter of finding the one that you like. So there you go. I hope this this tutorial series was helpful in starting the process. I think it gives a clear, delineated order of how to create this image, but at the same time gives the tools and understanding of how to break away from that to create something different, something that you want to create, but just gives a baseline of technique. I wish you luck in your journey in this process. Have fun.